The gospel is a great way to start your day. And what better way to learn about it than from us here at Daily Gospel? Before starting with today's gospel, remember to subscribe and like, so we can continue making these videos. Share this video with everyone you think would love to hear and see this message from Jesus. We start with the Gospel of February 3rd of this great year 2023. Reading of the day. A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Hebrews. Let brotherly love continue. Do not neglect hospitality, for through it some have unknowingly entertained angels. Be mindful of prisoners as if sharing their imprisonment, and of the ill-treated as of yourselves. For you also are in the body. Let marriage be honored among all, and the marriage bed be kept undefiled. For God will judge the immoral and adulterers. Let your life be free from love of money, but be content with what you have. For he has said, I will never forsake you or abandon you. Thus we may say with confidence, the Lord is my helper, and I will not be afraid. What can anyone do to me? Remember your leaders who spoke the word of God to you. Consider the outcome of their way of life and imitate their faith. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Gospel of the day. From the Gospel according to Mark. King Herod heard about Jesus, for his fame had become widespread. And people were saying, John the Baptist has been raised from the dead. That is why mighty powers are at work in him. Others were saying, he is Elijah. Still others, he is a prophet like any of the prophets. But when Herod learned of it, he said, it is John whom I beheaded. He has been raised up. Herod was the one who had John arrested and bound in prison, on account of Herodias, the wife of his brother Philip, whom he had married. John had said to Herod, it is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife. Herodias harbored a grudge against him, and wanted to kill him but was unable to do so. Herod feared John, knowing him to be a righteous and holy man, and kept him in custody. When he heard him speak he was very much perplexed, yet he liked to listen to him. Herodias had an opportunity one day when Herod, on his birthday, gave a banquet for his courtiers, his military officers, and the leading men of Galilee. His own daughter came in and performed a dance. That delighted Herod and his guests. The king said to the girl, ask of me whatever you wish and I will grant it to you. He even swore many things to her. I will grant you whatever you ask of me, even to half of my kingdom. She went out and said to her mother, what shall I ask for? Her mother replied, the head of John the Baptist. The girl hurried back to the king's presence and made her request. I want you to give me at once on a platter the head of John the Baptist. The king was deeply distressed, but because of his oaths and the guests, he did not wish to break his word to her. So he promptly dispatched an executioner, with orders to bring back his head. He went off and beheaded him in the prison. He brought in the head on a platter, and gave it to the girl. The girl in turn gave it to her mother. When his disciples heard about it, they came and took his body and laid it in a tomb. Words of the Holy Father. The great prophet and the greatest man born of woman, as Jesus regarded him, as well as the Son of God, both chose the path of humiliation. And this is the path that they show us and that we Christians must follow. When we try to draw attention to ourselves in the church and in the community in order to have a position or something, it is the way of the world, a worldly way, which is not the way of Jesus. This temptation to climb can also happen to pastors. This, said, is an injustice he cannot tolerate. If a shepherd does not follow this humble path, he is not a disciple of Jesus, Pope Francis said, adding, he is a climber in a cassock. There is no humility without humiliation. With this great message from Jesus, we wish you a happy day. Remember that you help us a lot if you subscribe. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the Daily Gospel channel. Follow me.